It's Gary again. So the court case has ended. Kayla Insanus suing Freelee and Harley. Now the case is over. And what do we got? We got thousands of people who don't know what's going on, starting to jump to conclusions. Freelee and Harley were intimidated out of court and out of proving that they did not slander or defame. We have no justice here. Nothing was shown or proven. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. So what we got on YouTube, where this all went down, what we got now is both Harley and Freelee have made a video. What's noticeable is what's missing. They're just not saying much of anything. But there's more people than just Harley and Freelee, in their opinion. There's other people out there. What about what Kayla has to say? Let's see her video. Yeah, right. She's not going to put up a video about this. This has nothing to do with her fan base. Here is some official news. Late now. This is March 31st. Court told fitness guru Kayla Insanus and Freelee the Banana Girl have settled. Freelee promised a court she will not disparage her rival online. See, that sounds like gagging to me. I'll bet you they didn't ask the judge. If you know how it is in court, you know. In court, you are scared that anything could happen. You're not going to say, can you define disparage? I could see Harley doing that. He'd be in jail in a half hour. It's right across the street from the court. The jail's... Kayla obtained an injunction. Videos be removed. Which I don't think that's legal. You know, I think only a trial can do that. They have to be proved that the videos were illegal. She asserted the duo defamed her. And that is false, as far as I know. They defamed her program. Kayla defamed Freelee. Except Harley and Freelee aren't interested in all that stuff. That's the only reason Kayla's getting away with this. You know someone's lost when they spit insults. He's suggesting that they lost, but, well, that cannot be true. That could be true if you, in your mind, if you just don't think about certain things and you just want to come to a conclusion. But the official news from the court is that the case was settled out of court, which means it never went to court, not to trial. Now I'll continue this post. And remember when I said he's probably just anti-vegan? Yeah. Was I speaking too soon? Jumping to conclusions? I can't hold back my laughter. If he was in court, he'd have to. And he would. This is rich. Because it's free, it's not an issue to cancel it, as opposed to an event you've already paid for. And, yeah, a lot of us did expect Harley to break order. What deal did you strike? Did she win? Well, in a sense, she won because the videos are removed and Harley can't talk about it anymore. Now you might be saying, but what about all our videos? Well, the thing is, we're not being sued because people aren't watching us. They always go after Harley and Freelee because they're the ones with the views.
resolve matters with It Seems, Pierce and Bikini Body. I acknowledge that It Seems, Pierce and Bikini Body legitimately issued the proceedings. I have never intended to convey to the public that It Seems, Pierce or Bikini Body intentionally set out to harm the public, nor do I think that. I accept the proceedings have been resolved and that I will not be making further public comment about the matters which are the subject of the proceedings. So that's something I have to share with you folks.
A message from the courts.
That's something I have to share with you.
You can see she was reading, and she had to read that. She never did that. Forced to put bullshit on her channel. Getting everyone who watches that the idea, giving people the idea that Freelee had once disparaged Kayla's. And another reason why the court giving Freelee that message to say on YouTube is sick is because of its sickening irony. Think about the irony here. She said something, and so she was sued for something, for her own opinion, something she said, something she thought. She was dragged into court, intimidated, and then sent home with a message she was forced to read on her channel instead of her own opinion.
In Australia, it's the most redneck country on earth. In Australia, we smash in the meat.
Your job is to get something done. Sometimes it's by taking somebody out and giving them a beating.
It's estimated almost 500,000 vets got PTSD in Vietnam, yet hundreds of thousands of them are ineligible for treatment. Which raises a fascinating question. What the f?
Because this is who we are. We are the most compassionate nation on earth. Here, the single greatest society that man has ever known.
If you're such a tree hugger and a cattle lover and a pig lover and all that stuff, but personally, I don't give a shit. No matter what.
And this is how rich people can win a court case without even going to trial to get a fair outcome, which is what you get. Not only do we not have any justice because we never got a trial with evidence, you know, but instead we have actual injustice. Just avoid evidence being presented to a jury of your peers and have them decide unanimously what is justice. Instead of that, we just preempted all that. I'm studying law. You're being taken to court for criminal deformation. Make sure I got that right. He's studying law. Deformation. Yeah, check it out. In case you want to see this for yourself. Criminal deformation. If you are confident that 1,600 calories is starvation, the defense justification will be upheld in court no matter how rich or piss poor you are. Don't worry, brother, you got this. Shamana, you are very naive. You're studying law. What kind of studying is this? Don't they teach you all the scams that go on? Don't they teach you how to scam? I was watching an old show the other day, and it fits so well in with what's going on today. 1978 episode of Different Strokes.
Well, Willis, wait. You forgot your book on justice and the law.
Oh, no point in reading it. Ain't gonna change anything in this country.
Willis, I'm afraid you got the wrong attitude.
Mr. Drummond, you believe what you read, but I believe what I see.
I know that, Willis.
Isn't Arnold entitled to get what everybody gets?
Well, yes, of course, but this is different.
Yeah, because you're rich and white and Arnold's black and poor.
Police target black people because it's easier. Poor people are easier because they cannot afford the good lawyers. Right now I'm in the middle of editing this video and I'm watching the news. I see some news that's relevant to this video. April 3rd.
It's a tragic day, too, because Mr. Hinton has spent 30 years locked in a 5x8 cell where the state of Alabama tried to kill him every day for 30 years. His case, in my judgment, is a case study in what's wrong with our system. He was convicted because he's poor. We have a system that treats you better if you're rich and guilty than if you're poor and innocent, and his case proves it. We have a system that doesn't do the right thing when the right thing is apparent. About that is we presented evidence of his innocence 15 years ago and just said retest the weapon, retest the bullets, satisfy yourself that he's guilty, and then you won't have to worry about this. And they absolutely refused to do it. We have elected judges, and the prosecutors and the judges decided to risk the possible execution of an innocent person over risking the perception that they might be perceived as soft on crime, caring too much about the rights of the accused.
More and more go through the system, I learn that it's not about truth and honesty and transparency and kindness that society really values. They're things that I value personally, but that's not what the world runs on, unfortunately. I would like it, that's not how it is. The golden fucking rule is those with the gold make the fucking rules. So if you piss off a couple of multi-millionaires with sharing your honest opinion, then they can do what the fuck they want to do in the court system. That's just how it is, alright?
Our prisons are filled with people who spoke out too much. I don't want to speak out too much about it. There's a recent case that didn't make much news. But everybody knows this guy, but you'll never hear from him again. And here's some more evidence. Something we didn't get in this case. I'm presenting evidence right here. Just today in my house, I was overhearing a conversation. And this is what I recorded. Said the police were creating a speed trap.
And they started pulling everybody over wholesale tickets to pull their tickets up. I had the audacity to ask the police, the judge got very angry. And so he threw the book at me and he said...
So he's saying he was complaining in court about what happened, like the facts of the way he sees it, and so the judge got really angry, is what he said.
He threw the book at me and he said, the traffic ticket's going to cost you $500. Would not take a check. Would not take a credit card. He said you need to have cash only. And so I asked, can I have some time to pay this because I don't live in this area. I live 50 miles away. And he said, no, you're going to spend the night in jail. Because if you pay by 4 o'clock, we'll take you to LA County. So I'm in a suit and tie, and I am just crying. This was such a corrupt judge. I mean, I sat in there and I watched the cases.
Corrupt judge. Actually, they can just do almost anything they want to do. On paper, it is said that we have the best system in the U.S., but there's some weak spots. where people just have power and they abuse it. This is well known.
A drug dealer come in with a fancy guy, and this very nice, good, fancy lawyer that was representing the drug dealer gave him exactly what he wanted.
So what he's saying there is he saw another case where a drug dealer came in with a fancy lawyer, I mean rich lawyer, and the judge gave the rich lawyer exactly what he wanted. See, when you're rich, you don't have to deal directly with this system, which you don't understand. The lawyers handle everything. Which reminds me, that news article there. Miss Insanus did not attend court today. Right, she doesn't have to. She's got enough lawyers. And it wouldn't help her to be there anyway. Because she wouldn't know what to do. Just like Harley and Freelee didn't know what to do once they showed up there. And they were hit with the reality of how it is. And that's what Harley was saying. He is learning the way it really works. Just like Willis was saying. And I say that in the book, but what you see in the real world is something else. So the guy in my house that was talking there, by the way, that's the low-carb guy. So he said he didn't have the money by 4 o'clock, so he went to jail. And his appointed lawyer knew enough and was helpful enough to tell him to take off his tie when he goes to jail. Now, we don't need to get into that reason, but it just shows you that lawyers know stuff. They know how to handle things. They know the system, the way it really works. You won't read about ties in a law book. And this is an interesting angle here. Even if this did go to trial, how would it have gone? Now, I've had jury selection 3 times now, and I see what it's like. It's a good learning experience. Most people try to get out of jury duty, but it's a good learning experience. I had a case, this one police officer who was suing a college. So one of the questions for screening potential juries was, do you have any problems with the police? Like, do you have any relatives who are police? Have you ever been arrested before? And if you have, you're out. There won't be anyone on the jury who's biased in any way like that. So imagine the jury selection for this case, Harley and Freelee. They'd be asking a bunch of people, do you have any vegans in your family? Are you a vegan? Do you have any problems with vegans? Have you ever had a vegan come up to you on the street? So in short, there would end up not being any vegans on the jury, or vegetarians. It'd probably eliminate the flexitarians, breatharians. And so all you're going to be left with is people who eat meat. Do you think you'd be fair to these 2 characters over here who eat a vegan diet and preach it on the internet? Oh, sure. And while the case has nothing to do with veganism, I'm sure that lawyers do this. They let it slip, let it be known that these 2 characters over here, the defendants, are vegan, and they spend, quote, 60 hours a week on the internet trolling. It's all right here in Harley's book. They actually got his book for evidence. And the stuff he said, it's ridiculous. But I can't get into it. I'm going too long right now. So, end of the video here. This is gotta end this one and start my next video rant on a different angle. So give me a thumbs up. You might want to subscribe to see more of this kind of stuff. This is the real deal. Also share this video all around. Maybe not on Kayla's Twitter. And I'll see you in the comments below. Bye.